Hi guys, Julian De La Hunt here. What a fascinating time to be alive. What an incredible 48 hours we've experienced as South Africans, but people around the world as we come to terms with this new world. Nothing from yesterday will be the same going into the future. Tomorrow will look completely different. We're battling with this change and this element of uncertainty, and many of us are asking ourselves the question, what now? What now? I'd like to suggest that we first start off by taking a bit of time out. Relax. Some of us may need 1 day, a couple of us may need 10 days. It's completely up to you. Take your time, breathe, relax, and more importantly, understand and process the self-isolation, this period of meditation that we'll all be in. This isolation is change, and it's uncomfortable for many of us. We often speak in the work that we do of controlling the controllables and not fretting that's out of your control. And this is the best possible time to really control what's in your control. And that is yourself, your family, those loved ones who you're spending time in isolation with, or be that just yourself. It's important that we manage our stress during this time, not only the stress that we've potentially been facing for a long time, but more importantly, the stress that may still build up over the time to come. Amidst all this silence and this isolation, however, there's one unbelievable opportunity that's come from this. And this is time for you and for me to prepare for the version of ourselves that we want to take into the future, the best possible version of you. The one that you've never really had the opportunity to spend time on because we're always so busy. We're scurrying, we're hustling, we're working 6 to 6 jobs. We've got the kids. There's sports activities. There's making ends meet and social clubs and people and all that sort of stuff that just clutters our lives on a daily basis. We've got the opportunity for a once in a lifetime offer from the world, from Mother Nature, a once in a lifetime offer where we are all 7-8 billion of us are forced to take one big collective sigh and relax and reevaluate and rethink and reinvigorate ourselves, and for many of us reinvent ourselves, because the world we know will not look the way it does tomorrow compared to what we were aware of and what we knew the day before. This is the opportunity. Mark my words, this is a once in a lifetime, sort of a sales pitch from the world, sales pitch from Mother Nature, from God, from whoever it might be that you believe in. A sales pitch that says, take a breath collectively, reevaluate what's important for you, and let's start on building the next best version of you, and the one that you want to take forth, and the one you've always wanted to be. Over the last 5 years, I've been incredibly blessed to have the opportunity to work with some of the greatest and biggest organizations across not only South Africa, but around the world. Being fortunate to work on Wall Street and Dubai and Singapore and all over the world. I've been fortunate enough to work in professional sports, from Olympic athletes to men and women's football, both locally and abroad. The PSL was some of the biggest football clubs on the African continent. In the English Premier League, massively fortunate enough to work with Premier League players, individual cricket players, golfers, tennis players, CEOs from some of the biggest organizations, home executives, young up-and-coming sort of athletes, students, teenagers. It's really been an unbelievable journey. And what we're finding is, and it's all around mindset, creating high-performance mindsets. I'm always referring to incremental steps to success. This is not a once over, a magical wand. This takes lots and lots of hard work. For us to understand, for us to self-reflect and understand who and what we are, why we behave the way we do. And when we understand what influences our behavior and our thinking, we can ultimately make changes to not only the way we think, but ultimately the way we perform and the way we behave and the way we're able to create and set goals. We refer to the inevitable dream. So many people will build short-term goals, and believe me, goals are important. But we've never heard anybody say, I've just met the woman of my goals. I've just bought the house of my smart goals. I've just driven the car of my goals off the showroom floor. No, we don't. We hear people say, I've just built the house of my dreams. I've just gone on the holiday of my dreams. And it's very specific. And in our program, we'll take you through why we behave the way we do, how our mindset works, how the brain works, and how we build these dendrites, these neural pathways, and how we break down old ones and create new habitual behaviors that are to the benefit of ourselves and those around us. We often are so busy building health goals and wealth goals and lifestyle goals and career goals, but we often find that we don't quite achieve those. And many times it's not because we don't have the tools and we don't have the techniques or we don't have the capabilities or the IQ or the job skills and knowledge and all that sort of stuff. It often boils down to mindset. So today I'd like to invite you to join me on a journey which is all about you, a journey of self-exploration and self-discovery, a journey where you put yourself first in identifying and understanding the version of you want to be. I will assist you by providing you the tools and techniques, the framework to develop a high performance mindset in whichever aspect you want that to be that in your personal life or in your work environment. It's all about creating that mindset that takes you into the future. The mindset that allows us to understand our strengths and embrace our areas of development and really become the next best version of ourselves. And the very first step to that is engaging in a behavioral profiling or a psychometric assessment, as many people would refer to it as. The behavioral profile that we like to make use of is the AVA, the Activity Vector Analysis, which was developed across the world by psychologists, engineers, and business people. It's been used in business, it's been used in high performance sport, and it's been used in coaching, recruitment, selection by many organizations around the world. We have the ability to assess it through the click of a button, by clicking on the link, opening it up, filling in a few details, and from there it's an open response system, meaning that there is no comparison, there's no forced response, I have to choose A or B. All you do in an open response system is select the phrases or the words that are most like you. The report will be an unbelievable report, a tool that you can use, whether that's in personal relationships, to understand the way you communicate for you and your spouse. In this time that we in a sort of lockdown environment with this new world that we're entering into, if you have the opportunity in a very simplistic, easy to read and easy to understand report, if you're able to make use of that report on a daily basis and understand the way you communicate and how others communicate and help them understand the way to communicate and embrace your strengths, what a wonderful way to start the new you. And then we'll take you on this wonderful journey of self-exploration, a journey where you will create this mindset, understand why and how we behave the way we do. And we'll start right the way down. Some of it might be uncomfortable, which is okay. Nothing great has ever happened in our comfort zones. We need to step out of our comfort zones from time to time and understand where that comfort zone, where the edge of it is. And when we step into the next part, just beyond the comfort zone, we refer to that as our high performance zone. And we can really only start pushing ourselves to the limit when we step just outside of that comfort zone. It's important to understand that we create beliefs through the way we conditioned. And we often refer to those mental vitamins. It's the books we read, it's the movies we watch, the news we watch, the people we interact with, the company we keep, the organization and the coaches and the spouses and everything that everybody's ever said to us builds our conditioning, which ultimately, if we were to drill that up one level, from conditioning we go into beliefs, and our values and our values and our beliefs still sit below the surface. And if we don't have the opportunity to interact with each other on a daily basis, on a deep level, many of us would never know what the beliefs and values are of those around us. But our beliefs and our values inform our attitude. It informs our attitude towards something or anything. Think about this sort of current corona environment, what we believe about the coronavirus and COVID-19 and lockdowns and isolations and self-isolations ultimately informs our attitude about that. If we have a positive attitude about this isolation and this time alone, this time of reflection and this time for self-exploration and discovery, we will ultimately drive to the next level, which is our feeling. And if we feel a certain way about this lockdown, and if we feel positive about it, and it's an opportunity for us to drive behaviors and thinking that we've never had the opportunity to, it'll take us to the next level, which is the way we behave. And the way we behave ultimately, and the way we perform, is the way we interact with the world. It allows us to not only react to situations, because reacting is off the cuff. It allows us to respond. And when we respond, we are calculated, we've thought it through. It's come from a place where we've worked through the five areas, the 5 steps: conditioning, belief, self-belief, and self-talk, the values. Then it takes us up to our attitude. Our attitude about something ultimately decides and deciphers the way we think about it, the way we feel about it. And when we feel a certain way about something, whether that's positive or negative, think about when you feel positively about something, how you behave, and think about how you feel when you feel negatively about something or towards something, how you ultimately behave. Guys, I want to implore you to take the opportunity. As I mentioned, we all have to think a little bit differently. This will be online coaching. The moment we're out of lockdown, again, I'm happy to meet face to face. Those are brilliant sessions. It allows us to understand and build rapport with each other. For now, it's an online session, and I may continue that for many years to come. We'll meet via whether it's a social media site, a Skype, a WhatsApp call, literally a normal phone call. We can text each other. This is a great opportunity, and I implore each one of you to take this. I look forward to the journey. The psychometric behavioral assessment will teach you so much about yourself. Give you insights that you may be aware of, but you've never sort of plugged into it. It may give you insights into blind spots that you were never aware of, and potential that's been hidden for many years. And sometimes we get so caught up in our daily lives that we don't take the opportunity to really explore who and what we are, and more importantly, who and what the future us is going to be, the future me and what it's going to look like. Well, here's an opportunity. I offer it to you. Make contact with us and really help me and the whole team take you to the next level in one-on-one sort of hour, half hour, 1.5 hour sessions, which hopefully will make you realize that there's so much more to understanding who and what you are. As a final example, I often use the analogy of a cell phone. When we buy a new cell phone or mobile device, and we take that out of the box, we've got a set of instructions, a booklet normally this thick. How many of us read that booklet from A to Z? I probably guess that very, very few, if anybody these days, reads that booklet. But I guess if I had to ask us to be honest with ourselves, we all know that cell phone, that mobile device that we have in our hands, has so many more functions and capabilities than we ever will make use of. Now that's, if you understand behavioral assessment like that, you'll realize that this is only one tool that'll help unlock an area of functionality or capability that you may not have been aware of that you are capable of. So again, one more time, I'm going to implore you, take the opportunity. I look forward to meeting you, and have a wonderful day, and God bless. All the best.